Hello, everyone. I'd like to share with you some of my favorite Beatles bootlegs on CD. This first one is called Turn Me On, Dead Man, and it's 2 discs. I really like disc 2 because there's a jam session with John and Paul in 1968 around the White Album sessions. And I think Ringo's in there too. I think he's playing coconuts or something. But it is great. They do a hilarious song called Los Paranoias. If a lot of you haven't had a chance to hear that, check it out. Because this is the greatest songwriting team in history, I think. These 2 guys could get together and have a lot of fun and write music. And that's what I got after listening to this. Of course, it was never, I don't think it was released on anthology, but it could have been. But I really enjoyed this CD. So the next one is called Nothing Is Real, the Private Tapes of 1965 to 1967. I think it's more or less recorded in 67. I think they put 1965 on there because there's a part in the beginning, the song We Can Work It Out. And I think what happened is John would sometimes take, or Paul, would take a reel that was old. And it could have been a master, or it could have been a demo, I don't know. But they would take it home and record over it. And I think that's what happened there. That We Can Work It Out was playing, and then he comes in and he starts to record with the Mellotron. So, but the part that I like on the CD is in 67, John and Ringo went to the Caribbean and recorded a bunch of stuff. It was crazy. I mean, I think the Mellotron was something that John was really getting into at the time, with Strawberry Fields and all that. And they added sound effects to their songs. They were playing those marimba rhythms, and John was making up songs on the fly, and it's wonderful. So if you guys want to check that out, I like Chi-Chi's Cafe and Pedro the Fisherman. Okay, the next one is another personal favorite. Gone Tomorrow, Here Today. Try to make this as quick as possible, but it's basically the Blackbird sessions. John is there, Yoko's there, and Paul, of course, is there. But at the time, Paul was breaking up with Jane Asher because she found him in bed with Francie Schwartz, who I believe was at some of these sessions. And it's got a lot of versions of Blackbird. So, I mean, he's working on the song. He would say, well, I'll take a break for a bit, And there's a lot of input from John. At one point, he tried to tune up his electric guitar and play along with Paul, but it wasn't really going anywhere. I said, man, this is a Paul song. John, you're going to ruin it. But they tried, and it took them forever to tune. But it's a wonderful session. If you guys ever heard it, then you know what I'm talking about. And there's a song, the main song, Gone Tomorrow, Here Today, was a song he was writing about Jane Asher. Like, well, sorry, I'm with a new bird now. So, and it wasn't very much later that he met Linda. Or it could have been, he probably met her. He was probably having sex with everybody he could back then. But, it's okay. This is a great recording. There's even an early version of him doing Helter Skelter. So I really enjoyed it. So we're going to do two more here. This is the Hey Jude sessions. There's only like 4 versions of it, but they're really trying to get it right. And I think they just tried to make it like the Hey Jude album, but all the songs are, you know, outtakes and stuff. But I really enjoyed the Hey Jude sessions. There's I think the third Beatles, or the third Hey Jude version, Paul, at one point, you know, where he goes, wow! Well, he didn't quite get there, just like I didn't. But that's what rehearsing is about. That's why I love listening to these bootleg CDs. And I've got one more for you. It's one of my personal favorites. The Beatles live at the Sam Houston Coliseum. It was 1965. They did 2 shows, afternoon and evening show. KILT was there, the Weird Beard and all these announcers. And it's a really interesting document, I guess, to have, because the first show, I mean, they got interrupted a lot by the announcers, you know, telling people to move back. And John thought, you know, thank you, that was wonderful, you know, and just little smirks he was doing during the show. But by the second show, he lost his voice. And that's very interesting to listen to, especially Twist and Shout. The first song off the bat, you knew he lost his voice. And, you know, it happened a lot from what I read. You know, John would lose his voice. Paul would lose his voice every now and then. But yeah, I mean, you know, grueling schedules. And once John's voice was shot, he couldn't do anything with it. He just had, I mean, it wouldn't matter anyway. There was just people screaming and stuff, but that's it. That's my collection for this edition. I think that's Shea Stadium. That's not in Houston. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. I'll check back with y'all on the next edition. Thank you.